Tenpai Dragon is the power creep of all power creeps when it comes to OTKs in Yu-Gi-Oh history. In this how to play video, we're going to talk about Tenpai or Sangan Dragon. OTK is the name of the game. If you get your cards right, there's like 16 one card OTKs, 16,000 damage, 37,400 damage, can OTK Under Prosperity, and it's a fire archetype, it's a dragon archetype. So already there's a ton of support. There are so many reasons why this is a serious meta contender and why in the OCG it's taken over. And I wanted to make a video showing what you can expect playing Tenpai Dragon, things you need to know, and possibly other versions of the deck. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe for more videos like this one, and let's get into the video. Alright guys, so to start off with, let's cover the deck profile. So first of all, we are going to go through the Tenpais. We got Tenpai Dragon Zongdora, a special, a Tenpai from the deck. Now, this happens during the damage step, which means it cannot be ashed and it's hard to interact with. And that is a really important thing to grasp about the Tenpai strategy, is a lot of these effects from the Tenpais happen during the damage step, which means cards like Cashtira Fenrir, all the Kashtira say except during the damage step. And in the damage step, very, very specific things can only be activated, such as activation negation, attack modification. And that is another reason why Tenpai is a slippery strategy and why you have to make sure you're ready before going into the battle phase. And they all have a non-once per turn effect to actually quick synchro. So targeting negation, while it's good against this deck in the right way, all of them can quick synchro. So they can actually all dodge targeting negation, which is insane. It can beat Chi Shao, it can be Imperm, a face down Imperm if your opponent's gone first. Fire Princess dodge the destruction effect as well. And if you control a Fire Dragon monster, Zongdora can special summon himself, and that doesn't lock you into anything, which I think is amazing because this card and Flamberge happen to both be Fire Dragons. So I love the synergy with other Fire Dragon Synchros like Black Rose Dragon, Meteor Burst Dragon, but also Flamberge Dragon, and I think is a good reason to try out Snake-Eyed Tenpai. That is another list I'll be showing this deck profile, so stay tuned for that. At the start of the damage step, if a monster battles, you can special summon one level 4 or lower Fire Dragon monster from your deck. So one thing to know is, yes, it's true, the damage step, they can't respond as much with as many cards, but of course we want to go into the Tenpais. Let's break them down. Fedora is the next one, so we've got red, green, and white. This one is all about special summoning. If it's normal or special, or at the start of the damage step, if a monster battles, you can target a level 4 lower Fire Dragon in your graveyard and special summon it. Also feels like a Link Extender, Link Climber, and I've used that in ways with my Snake Eye version to Link Climb. Fedora is also great because there's a second effect where your Fire Dragon monsters cannot be destroyed by battle. So if you are struggling to get the Tenpai combo going, you want your monsters to survive, you might need Fedora on the field. So I think Fedora is really important, but you want to play it at 1 or 2 because its effect is useless if you don't have the other Tenpais in the graveyard. Fedora is the next one. This one is arguably the most important Tenpai because it can search the field spell, which helps you get that 37,000 OTK damage. On normal special summon, can take a Sangan or Tenpai spell and trap and either add it to your hand or set it. Now the set part is actually very important because the level 7 and level 10 synchros can come back from the graveyard. It will also destroy a spell or trap for the level 7 or a card on the field for the level 10. So if you don't find the field spell but you manage to find it later on in the combo, you can set it, destroy it. Once destroyed, will double the attack of a dragon synchro, like Trident Dragon, attacking 3 times for 18,000, guys. That is ridiculous. Also, you can search the spell, which is Sangan Kaimen, or in the battle phase, it can add a level 4 lower, a Fire Dragon from your deck to your hand, and you can special summon one. But outside the battle phase, you could only do one of the effects. Now again, with Flamberge, you can special Flamberge from the hand, which I think is quite nice. In the battle phase, if you add the Sangan Kaimen, just know that you will have the OTK secured. It usually brings out the Fedora to do a whole other synchro line. Because Magnum can search dragons and we are going second deck, we want to make sure we run this. So I'd still run Druisa because people do run Linkaribo, Dark Charmer, Diabellstar, and it's a great interruption. It can take out cards like the Yubel monsters, which come through our battle or card effects and don't take battle damage. I learned that the hard way, guys, when I dueled against a Yubel player, and they seem to be the brick wall against Tenpai. Brimming, Sangan, Mana, Fire Dragon monsters you control are unaffected by your opponent's activate effect during your main phase 1. So it means that a Black Rose Dragon will be basically unaffected when you summon it and nuke the board, reset the board. During your main phase 1, add a Tenpai from your deck to your hand, then discard 1 card. So if it's destroyed during the battle phase, you can double the attack of a Dragon Synchro. So a very important card for the OTK, but you don't need it for the OTK, which I like. Sangan Kaimen, we've already covered this one. It's a quick play spell, so this means you can, play through draw with this card. This deck doesn't actually lose to draw, which is amazing, because once you do get draw lockbirded, you can chain the Kaimen, you can set these spells, so you never add it to the hand. Just another bit of resilience to this deck, and you can tell they went all the way with this OTK battle phase strategy, something we haven't seen before in this way. Another thing as well you've noticed is the engine is really small in this strategy. It's it's concerning actually how many times you might break, and that's why we're running cards like Phantasme and the Rescue Ace engine. So we're running the Terraforming to find the field spell. We're playing 3 Prosperity, which basically is engine at this point for this archetype. Another great non-engine which you almost have to play, but I'm testing this out first, is Forbidden Droplets. If you pair that with Imperm, because the point is, guys, you can't play Dark Ruler because the whole deck is an OTK. Instead, you need something like Droplets, and also makes sense because it's a 1-card combo deck. You have 16 cards that are 1-card OTKs for 10,000 plus damage. So you could also main deck Shifter in this deck. Let's quickly talk about Shifter, guys. It's in my side deck right now. You can OTK under Shifter. Let's go to Impulse and Fire Attacker. You know, Impulse is a monster negation. We can't fold that. The only issue is, of course, we have 1 Fire Attacker. So the main goal is to special Fire Attacker, draw 2, discard 1, have a fire body on the field if we want to do our Zealantis Blaze package as well. Keep that in mind. Then we have 3 Phantasme. Again, this is purely anti-fire, so we're expecting link monsters on the field. If anything, guys, if you don't like this, you can simply side out the Phantasme for the Shifter, and I think that'll be alright. You could also take out the Impulse package for Droplets and hopefully find some space for Imperm as well. So the brew is great in this deck because you want to OTK and make sure their board is weak. So that's the aim of this deck, is have enough bodies on board so that we can crumple their going first plays with hand trap, and then because it's so easy to break their board, we just OTK them. That is the goal of this deck. And I decided to run less non-engine like spells because Phantasme draws and Fire Attacker draws. So that is my basis for this deck, a pure grade second strategy that is very aggressive. Let's move on to the extra deck, guys. So we've got a Baron de Fleur classic level 10. You can summon this. The only card that locks you into things is actually the level 7 Biden Dragon. This card is super important, and the reason why is these Synchros will come back to the field from the graveyard as a quick effect if 3 or more attacks have occurred, because the Tenpai deck is all about attacking in the damage step, synchroing, attacking, special summoning. That's very easy to pull off. So you want to make sure you run 2 of these cards. It is the most important card for the OTK. Also, it's level 7, so you can bring back the level 3. Maybe you have a Fedora on the field, Zongdora. These cards are also tuners, guys, so that is why this is very important. When this is Synchro Summon, target up to 2 other cards you control, destroy those targets, and if you do, for each destroys card, this card gains an additional attack. Pairs very well with the Brimming Sangen mana, because when destroyed will make Trident 6k and you're attacking 3 times. The reason why it's so easy to trigger this is, again, your Synchros will come back to the field, so you can bring them back and then go into the Trident Dragon, because remember, all the quick Synchro effects are not once per turn. You can literally use them as much as you want. I'll show the combo at the end of the video of the classic, the 1-card combo you have to learn. If this card is Synchro Summon, you can target 1 Fire Dragon in your graveyard, special lit, and you cannot special summon for the rest of the turn except Dragon monsters. So yes, you're being locked into dragons, but that's not a big deal. You can summon Bestial Dispower, you can go into Spheres as far as a lock, and it's the only lock you have in the deck. So this card can bring back Flamber's Dragon, guys. I just realized that now. If 3 or more attacks have been declared this turn, quick effect, special this from the graveyard and destroy a spell trap on the field. You can also pop the field spell with this card if you don't get the full combo, if they check part of your combo, and hopefully you can still OTK with this card at 5200 after destroying the mana, so that's really important. But next card is the modern Trident Dragon counterpart, which is Sangen Super Dragon Transcend Dragon. You need a Dragon Tuner and a non-tuner dragon, the same as Biden Dragon. If this card is Synchro Summon, change all monsters on the field to attack position. Now we can do the OTK easily. If players are trying to play in defense mode, they're going to lose because this puts them in attack mode. You love to see it. All your opponent's monsters must attack if able, and your opponent can activate cards or effects during the battle phase. So one strategy people do is they'll summon Transcend Dragon and then go in the battle phase and activate the spell card Sangen Kaimen, and because your opponent cannot activate anything, you are good to go. So that is a very important strategy, and if you pair this Transcend Dragon with the mana field spell, you're free to go to the battle phase and OTK, so that's very important. Similarly to the Biden Dragon, if 3 or more attacks have been declared this turn, you can special on this card from your graveyard, then you can destroy 1 card on the field. Again, that destruction is there for mana, but you can also just take out cards on your opponent's field. Maybe they have a card that comes destroyed by battle and is in defense mode still, you can pop that card. So it just goes to show how much of a powerhouse and OTK this deck really is. This is the power creep of all OTK power creeps, I'm going to say that now. Next up are some interesting level 7s, which all happen to be, or mostly happen to be, Fire Dragon. I love this card. This is one of my favorite Synchros. I thought I'd run it. It's a draw 2, discard 2. Because you're running non-engine, you can even summon this turn 1, hopefully draw some hand traps. Also, you can discard cards like the Tenpais, summon a Fedora, bring back those Tenpais, so nice combo there. It's a Book of Moon as well, which, you know, can be helpful in a pinch. You can easily take this out for Bestial Despair, or you can add something like SP. We have Meteor-Burst Dragon up next. This card is actually quite important, guys. This is like a nerfed version of the Transcend Dragon, simply because your opponent cannot activate monster effects in their possession during the battle phase. So if you're playing against a classic Omni Negate board, get into that battle phase as soon as possible, summon Meteor-Burst Dragon, and have a good time OTKing. So this card is quite important, and I'm pretty sure that's the only reason why we're playing it. Provided the field spell is on the field, he's going to be unaffected until the battle phase, where the monster effect prevention is enabled as well. So very cool card. Next up is Black Rose Moonlight Dragon, one of the good stuff, best level 7 synchros in the game. And then lastly, the best fire dragon in the game, Black Rose Dragon. I don't even think I should be explaining this card. Everyone knows this card by now. If you never had a reason to pick up a Starlight Rare QCR Black Rose Dragon, now is your opportunity, because you will play this in Tenpai. This card is a board wipe. Pair this with the field spell, you know, you can't stop this. So that's what's great about this card. Next up though, we have the classic Zealantis Blaze package, Promethean Princess package. When in doubt, just make a simple, very easy OTK if your opponent has a monster. You could do this with your eyes closed, guys. So you gotta run this one spheres, because that's one of our only going first options. If we have the rough opportunity where we go first, the opponent makes us do that. This is what we're gonna have to end on with some hand traps. Hopefully that's enough. The side deck is a work in progress, but here's an idea of what you can expect even playing against Tenpai. You've got Heatwave, which is the best going first card post siding. Either play a normal or special until it goes back to your turn, which is perfect to OTK. D-Barrier for the fusion and ritual decks. You have the classic back row removal, and of course 3 shifter, like we mentioned in the beginning of the video. Something you definitely should be checking out. Alright guys, time for my Tenpai Snake Eye deck profile. Let's quickly cover this one. We've already gone through the Tenpai cards, but the reason why I'm playing this, why I'm running this, is I love the synergy between Flamberge Dragon and the Tenpai monsters. Because it's a fire dragon, it's got great recursion because of the special summoning from the graveyard. 3-1-5-3-1 tier, just good efficient packages. Engine being added to Tenpai is our answer for going first, and being a hybrid going first, going second deck, where both engines are actually amazing going second, but Tenpai is literally the OTK power creep in history. I think this is going to guarantee us we can win most duels, and worst case we do the classic Blaze package, or we end on a Ambler Whale. So going first, I love this. I am still working on whether I should take out Ancient Fairy Dragon, put in a second Transcend Dragon, and taking out Divine Temple. But because we can, you know, extend, because there's a lot of normal summons, that is the drawback of this version. We were running Ancient Fairy to special that other level 4 from the hand. Then again, if we are going second, we can simply special the Zongdora from the Flamberge, and that should be enough as well. So I love this idea, and I'm going to keep working on this, but this is what I've got so far. Let me know what you think about this in the comments down below. Another card I want to shout out, guys. This is our time play for the Tenpai deck. On Synchro Summon, gains 300 attack for each level the non-tuner had, then inflict 300 damage for each level the tuner had. Because of the lack of non-engine in this deck, I thought I'd substitute with the Snake Eye cards, which happen to at some point work hand in hand with these guys because they're all fire. If you can play around or get used to the lot of normal summons in the deck and find a way to really make use of it, I think this is actually a really brilliant engine. I love this idea, and let me know if you've tried this as well. Now let's move on to the combos, guys. I want to show you 2 very interesting combos which I think you need to know if you're going to be playing Tenpai. Let's get into it. Alright guys, here is my Tenpai OTK Under Prosperity. I want to quickly showcase what you can expect when you play this deck. So we're digging for our Prosperity cards right now. There it is, the Terraforming and the Zongdora. Let's find Zongdora, normal this card, go into the battle phase. During the damage step, special summon the Bidora. Correct me if I'm wrong, you cannot Ash Blossom because that negates an effect, not an activation, and because it's in the damage step, which is insane. So there we go. We've fulfilled 2 attacks already. We've summoned the Bidion, and we've brought back the Bidora. We're doing 4 attacks now, so now we can bring back the Synchros from the graveyard. Quick Synchro, search the Fedora, bring back the Zongdora, and then we can OTK with this much damage. And we haven't even gotten into the Transcend Dragon yet, guys. We haven't even activated the field spell yet, so you can already see the potential of this archetype. Sadly I can't show the negative life points, but you get the idea, guys. This is absolutely insane, and we've just OTK'd Under Prosperity, which I don't think we've seen before. Is something a lot of players try to achieve when they're in like duels and tournaments but never get to it. This deck can get to it. Here's a great going first option if you're concerned about spell decks like Runic. Going first option with Tenpai. Let's show you guys the combo. We're going to do classic Ancient Fairy Dragon field swap. Let's go. Let's special summon Fedora as well. This is quite important. You want to make sure you can bring back another monster to at least secure, you know, another extender, another synchro. Shooting Riser Dragon gets to dump for us any level 4. In the OCG, this was used to dump Fairy Tail Snow, which is amazing. We don't have that though, so maybe you can get creative with your level 4. And then we summon Nirvana High Paladin. It's a spellcaster, that's all we care about. You can even customize this to summon a different spellcaster, but I like that this card works for Tenpai. It's higher than 3k attack, and also when it destroys a monster by battle, you halve their bonus life points. I feel like that's pretty good. And those are 2 easy options you can use here. There are some other combos that exist as well, where you can summon the Ultimate Zolkin, summon the new Blackwing Dragon because of the level 7 Bidora Synchro, that's a tuner, and Ancient Fairy, that's a non-tuner. You find a way to special summon with the spheres as well that you've made a Bidora. Bidora is going to set a card, and because the card was set, you summon a Crystalline Dragon with Ultimate Zolkin. So another good option you can run as well going first, but it does play a lot of cards. It does play into Nibiru. And that has been my how to play guide on Tenpai, guys. Let me know what you thought about this in the comments down below. This is a very interesting deck, and I feel like it's very glass cannon. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you guys. This deck could be very bricky if you don't find the engine, but this deck seems to work, and I like this version with the draw card. I'm going to test this out. Let me know how it goes. Let me know what you thought about this video in the comments down below. What would you like me to cover next on the channel? This deck is amazing, and I'm definitely going to be picking this up in the next set. And with that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.